Welcome to the listening show. Surprise news, we were recently rated the #1 podcast in the world.
Really?
Yeah, fun fact. Thank you everybody for getting us to the #1 best podcast in the world.
I was going to ask what the credential was, but it's everybody.
It's the #1 credential. It was rated the #1 credential in the world. So we really we couldn't do it without you guys, you loyal listeners.
I mean, we can now because we're #1.
This episode was brought to you by Pampers. If you just full of shit, Pampers. Welcome. We got a new podcast set up. If you didn't notice,
Well, it's the same. It's the same podcast. The arrangement is different, and now I'm realizing how weird it is because we're seated so that we can sit and face forward at the television for our other podcast you can watch called The Watching Show. But now I'm like awkwardly turning like this, and I'm also not in the microphone, so this will take some getting used to.
Yeah.
We're doing what we can with what we have, and that includes beanie bags, which are a great novelty and are fun for a little while. They are not practical and not very malleable. You can't really even sit in one place comfortably. So we got some pillows, so that helps.
Yeah.
Although I guess you have 3 pillows.
I do. I'm moving so I can see you.
That sounds good. We heard you struggle off camera. It's my turn to struggle.
Struggle loudly so it can be a podcast.
No. So it can be the listening show? So people can listen to the struggle?
Struggle loudly. That's gonna be. I imagine imagine like a meme, like a sepia font, a sepia exposure filter of some kind, and then really cool italic lettering, and that's what it says. Struggle loudly. That sounds like some weird poetic thing that a 23-year-old Instagram girl would say.
Like it's supposed to be a motivational quote.
Yeah.
I actually think that'd be a good name for a podcast, The Struggle.
Struggle loudly?
No, just The Struggle.
Huh. Yeah, I can see that.
It's like 9 to 5 grind, whatever name is. It's just like
I pictured Dwayne The Rock Johnson hosting it.
The Struggle.
Yeah.
Why?
This is The Struggle, where we take 10 people from around the nation and we put them through perilous tasks. You get 3 lifelines, and it's like a game.
Okay.
That's what I pictured.
But it's a podcast, so you can only listen to this game.
Yeah, what you hear is people struggling loudly. Yeah. What'd you do today?
What did I do today? I feel like I did something productive besides going to the gym. Yep. Got some Pampers after that because it's my first day of the gym in months, so it means I've had the shits all day.
Really?
Yeah.
The gym makes you have shits?
Well, if you put stress on your body in a certain way, and with a diet change, you'll get shits.
Oh, you got a diet change too.
Well, last week, but that mostly with the stress of the gym. Just give me the shits.
Like wet ones?
Pretty wet.
That's why we chose our sponsor. We had many offers and we chose Pampers because they offered a really, really good deal. Free Pampers.
That you can get too, hypothetically, in this sponsorship that we definitely have.
Yeah. And did I say Pampers? I meant
depends, because we're too old for that.
Yeah, it depends on
depends on your age.
Yeah, depends Pampers.
I was gonna say there's gonna be like Depends Junior. There's gotta be what's that gonna be? Pampers Senior or Depends Junior? Like what's the middle age?
Pampers, but I'm trying to think of like another word for Pampers.
Spoil?
Yeah, Pampers
or spoil
or dotes. Dotes.
I like doting. That's a great word. Or dote. I guess dote is a word.
Dotes. Yeah, like doting. Doting on
sounds hip, like goats. So
Yeah.
I think that could be. We're talking about a diaper for middle-aged people, right?
Yeah, dotes. Dotes is like the adult pamper.
First, we're trying to come up with a new podcast for nobody. Now we're trying to come up with a new product for nobody. I like this.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know if
hypothetical.
I don't know if I made this clear, or if it was not quite obvious. But we are not, in fact, the #1 podcast, and we are not sponsored by Pampers.
Oh man, we brought a specific name. Well, sorry, we misspoke. We can't say that because it's not legally binding and all that. But we can say Dotes because I don't think there's a trademark on that word. So we're
Sponsored by Dotes.
sponsored by Dotes. You're never too old to take your shit with you. Never too young to take your shit with you.
Yeah,
What's the pun gonna, or what's the tagline gonna be for Dotes? Like, what's the line you use to sell diapers to middle-aged people?
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
I feel like Dotes, they delved into breakfast foods too. So they've got Dotes and Oats. You know, they got like an oatmeal. Dotes and Oats.
Skip the tagline. In the future, they own like a train station, Dotes train station. There's like pictures of diapers. It's just like the branding is going too far. It's kind of like Idiocracy in the future when Starbucks owns. So like Dotes, middle-aged diapers. Actually, in an Idiocracy future, I can totally see middle-aged people wearing diapers or underwear that you're meant to poop in all day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
You could like create like it's almost like sort of not a composter, but something like that like deals with your poop like in a natural way.
Yeah,
and then you just like plant your dipe after you're done with it.
Plant your dipe.
Yeah, you plant it in the ground and
Maybe dipe would be a good word.
Dipe.
Dope's Dites. So Dope is the brand
Dote's
and Dites are
Dipes.
the product name. They call diapers Dipes.
Yeah, Dote's
So
Dipes.
Dope's Dites or Dote's
Dote's
Dipes.
Dipes, yeah,
Dote's
yeah.
Dipes.
I like that. It's got a good
It's
ring
fun.
to it. I
It's
think
just
that what
hip
we
enough.
should do we should start Dotes, and then we should put a acorn in every dipe, and so every time you poop in it, that fertilizes. It's used as fertilizer, and then you plant the dipe in the ground, and it grows a tree every dump you take. So it's like dump and grow.
That sounds like a good tagline.
Yeah.
Every dump you take.
Yeah, and then every dump it makes life. You dump for life.
Dump for life.
Dump
That's the campaign that we use.
Yeah.
To advertise our
Yeah,
product.
Dotes dumps for life.
Dote's Dipes.
Dumps for life.
Dump for life.
Dotes Dipes dump for life.
I'm also singing that in that sepia tone with the
Yeah.
white letters like you mentioned earlier.
We get Meryl Streep
Yeah.
to do the tagline. Dotes Dipes dump for life. You know, like we have like a really
Sparkles.
yeah, maybe Matthew McConaughey because didn't do a couple commercials for us. All right, you know, like Dotes.
That's all he says. He shows up for the commercial to say, all right. That's all. You're like, why was he there?
Meryl Streep says Dotes Dipes dump for life, and then he says,
Shows
all
up.
right.
All right. That was a great 2-second commercial. Or 3-second, I guess. It'd be really funny if this appeals to my power fantasy that I have of always like getting power so that I can abuse it. So imagine we're famous and wealthy enough to where we can afford to pay for a 5-second YouTube ad
Yeah.
for a product that doesn't exist, and we pay like $10,000, and so people will occasionally see this ad. And we had Matthew McConaughey in the ad.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying, all right. And this will play before people's YouTube videos.
Yeah.
It's a 5-second ad for something that doesn't exist. It doesn't promote us. No one's gonna know where. They'll have to Google if they're curious, then they could find out that
Yeah.
way. But like, it's a joke.
That'd be a
But
good way
it
to-
comes with power.
It would be good with power, and it could be good potential advertising option for the watching and listening shows. Yeah, there's nothing about the actual show, but if you clicked on the link, it would take you to the show.
Yeah.
But like it's really high production quality, and so you see like the perfume commercial, slow motion camera pans.
High quality.
But it's like of the back of a diaper shot on on a man, like an old man. But
that's such
it's
a fun idea.
Dotes Dipes, dump for life.
All right.
But
You know what?
echoey in the background. All right.
It's fairly doable with some money.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I mean by power of money. If that's what I like to imagine I would do if I had power of money, is stupid stuff that I can't really do right now. But
Yeah.
hopefully we'll remember that. At least it's recorded for all time. So maybe in just 5 more episodes when we're rich and famous, we can look back and go, hey, remember that one time 5 weeks ago when we said that? Now we can do it.
We should befriend Elon and Jeff, and we can like tell them about our ideas, because I really do think like a diaper with an acorn in every one of them would like really repopulate the earth, because a lot of people take a lot of dumps, and I feel like fecal matter would be a good like a nutritious source for acorns to draw from in the earth whenever you get like rain and
Why
sun.
acorns? They're all just growing.
It could be whatever. It could be apple seeds.
Okay.
It could be whatever. I just was picturing like an acorn. Like I feel like an acorn would be like aesthetic. Like it would have like a tiny lump. Maybe it wouldn't be good to sit on.
No, there's a lot of
all right,
problems.
smaller
You
seeds.
jumped from like point A to W, and we missed a whole bunch of stuff in between. Like, how does this diaper keep your poop and keep you comfortable all day? And then how are you supposed to dispose of it? And then why is this more cost effective or convenient than just going to the bathroom?
But
that's okay, because the acorn is the important part.
No, there's some kinks to iron out. Clearly, we got a lot of work to do, but I think that we've got a winning idea with the repopulate the earth with each poop. You know, every time you use
Repopulate. There's so many puns and taglines to be had.
Yeah, dump for life.
Dotes. I forget, but it's
Dotes Dipes. Dump for life. Yeah. Dump of life. Dump of life.
I like for life. It's a call to action. Like,
you
do
have
this.
Yeah.
Do it for life. That's why we take a shit.
And then like maybe there's a guy who's like he's a wealthy individual. He owns a lot of property. He has a lot of real estate, and he maybe he's got IBS or something, and so he uses the dipes a lot. Like every day he utilizes a dipe. And then every day he plants a dipe, and before you know it, he has acreage of trees, just like of that's his. They've got a little bit of him in every tree, and so maybe he's got a lot. He's got a whole forest, and with that, he can supply a lot of children with wood that if they need to build like a log cabin.
This is a wealthy guy, right? So he just takes a shit and lets the kids do all the labor of providing for the bare minimum housing.
Well, they get to. It's a free resource for the orphans they can go cut down trees, build their own housing.
But he's wealthy, and
I mean, put them to work if they're gonna be poor. Yeah.
You took just enough logic jumps to keep me interested. I was expecting bigger logic jumps, but those were just sufficient enough.
You can imagine a world I think that would make the world a better place if kids, they had to work for the roof over their heads. That's what we're missing in these dumb labor law days. I think the minimum age for working should be like 5.
If you can walk, you can move stuff.
If you can talk and walk, you're good. Get to work. I'm joking. If you guys don't know,
we don't support labor for 5-year-olds, and we're not sponsored by Pampers.
I do, but we don't.
As a corporation,
can't
endorse this. We don't speak.
I'm joking. I need to stop making. I'm so tired. I've been working all day today, so like my humor right now is very much lying. Is my humor, and so I lied about our podcast standing, and I lied about our sponsor, and now I've lied about my views on the political and socioeconomical exploitation of children.
Speaking on our podcast standing, we should mention, we've been mentioning it for a while, but I think this is the first listening show episode we've had since the watching show has officially started. Right?
We've got a week's worth of the watching show under the belt.
So if you're a fan of listening, you can do that here, but you can also watch the watching show. Ironically, if you want to see us, you can only see us or watch us on the listening show. I know it gets confusing, but the watching show is us sitting here looking at a television playing games. It's been great so far.
We do it every day, guys. Every single day we've done a watching show
every day,
episode.
not counting the days that we don't, which is never, which is pretty often.
Almost every day.
I like less than half of you half as well as I'd like, and I know less than half. I try to do one of those. I don't know if that made sense.
Yeah,
but it's supposed to mean every day.
We literally do it every day. They come out at 8 a.m, I think, regularly.
Yes.
We're playing Monster Hunter Stories 2 for one game, and another game we're playing is
Super Mario Odyssey.
It's Super Mario Odyssey on the Nintendo Switch. Intuition. So go check that out. That's our last plug for that.
Yeah, that's the last one today. We'll be back plugging ourselves next week.
So you didn't answer my viscosity of the shits question that you said you had.
Yes, I did.
You did?
It was 1 word, 3 letters. That's
Wet.
your hint.
Wet?
Yes.
Dry. Okay.
Hey, dry was
3.
Passing grade. Good job. If I was a teacher, I'd give you like an extra point for giving more correct answers than I asked for.
Sure. But it wasn't really correct because it's not dry. It was wet.
But you also answered wet, which is also correct.
Yeah. So is it the kind of wet that's just like squirts, like it squirts out?
It's like not quite that wet.
It just comes out really easy.
I've had squirt, which is 100% like you're peeing out of your butthole.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
It's really gross.
I'm talking like
too.
It's like 40 to 50% wet. It's pretty wet, but it's not.
So there's chunks.
Oh yeah, and it's really spicy.
And the sound that it makes when it hits the water is kind of like when you're pouring chili into a sink that's been backed up for a while and has a lot of sitting water.
But it's pretty chunky chili.
Yeah.
Really, it's not as wet as you're imagining or want it to be for the sake of, well, it's funny when it's funnier when it's wet. It's just the truth. I mean, a solid loaf can be funny, but not as funny as.
It sounds like literally peeing sometimes.
One time it was like pee, and I was like, did I just pee out of my butthole?
Yeah, it's pretty concerning.
I was like, what the hell just happened?
I've had that happen.
It happened one time. I was like, what the fuck? I just peed out of my butthole.
That's so gross. But it has happened
more
to me.
Gross, but here we are.
Okay, let's do it.
One time I was a kid and I wiped my butt because I have a habit of doing that with paper towels, and I looked at it.
Wait, paper towel?
Sorry, toilet paper towel.
Okay.
I mixed them together.
Yeah.
Toilet paper, and I looked and I was like, there's a maggot in my poop. There's a maggot right here.
Really?
And so I yelled because I'm a kid and I want attention. I have maggots in my poop. Come look. And so I can't remember two people. One of them was my mom. One of them must have been my sister.
You had worms, dude.
Came in to look at the maggot, but in the time it took them to get there, my butthole itched so bad, and I only had this hand, so I just scratched my butt with it. But then the maggot was gone by the time they came back, so I couldn't prove that there was a maggot.
You wiped the maggot back?
It probably fell into the toilet.
Oh,
but yeah,
you had worms. That is really gross, by the way.
Yeah, you said.
I'm glad we did this.
Did
I'm glad we did, but
I wouldn't back down.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever had worms before. Did you get did you go to the vet and get like a dewormer?
It's a distemper heartworm.
Like a collar? You know, they have those like glow in the dark collars that they wear to like ward off ticks and other
I didn't know that was
bugs.
a thing. Yeah. No, I was a kid. I don't remember how old I was, just young enough to be a kid and wonder what that was doing there.
Not old enough for collars. For animal collars, I presume. Yeah. My favorite, now that we're on the topic of
the dump
poop,
train, yeah,
the dump train. My favorite is when you get very colorful ones that are like very green or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
if you eat
this is so green. You're like, what?
Yeah, it's like whoa,
this is special.
Yeah, usually that happens around St. Patrick's Day, and I don't know why.
I think it happened I think it's a known fact to some people that a Shamrock Shake, which is around St. Patrick's Day, will make your poop green.
Just because it's got the dye, artificial dye.
Yeah,
anything with artificial dye will be like that.
By the way, I totally see this as what's it called?
So far, we've mostly talked about poop, so we could just keep going. And
but I'm trying to remember the name of the brand. We had Dotes Deeps.
Dotes Dipes.
Thank you, Dotes Dipes. I can imagine Dotes Dipes saying, "Tell us your poop stories." Hashtag Dotes Dipes, poop for life.
Yeah.
And so we have a thread of these poop stories showing up. Oh my gosh, people just join. So
a real hashtag. We could do the real hashtag without the real product.
And then this commercial for the watching show gets so popular that we just keep the brand going. We keep make a business account for it, and then all this stuff.
We do all these like corporate initiatives where we're volunteering for
Dotes
projects
Dipes registers as a company.
Yeah,
like a real company it's a real company on paper, and although it doesn't sell anything, it gives to charity. Like this it's a company technically now. It grows as a joke.
We should open up
stuff now.
We should open up our listening show / watching show Patreon under Dotes Dipes. just and then people would just have to know that's the listening show. Like, and only dedicated people who care about Dotes Dipes and you know, in tandem the listening show and the watching show will know. You know, they support Dotes Dipes in their fight against racism. And other ethical quandaries.
What would Dotes Dipes do about the Cuban Missile Crisis? Well, had we been there?
Yeah.
I was going to say something else. Oh, yeah, poop stories. So, sure, you've had... Can you remember, as a yes or no question, can you remember the most solid, perfect dump you've ever had?
Yeah.
Yeah. And can I ask you yes or no question? Did you feel a sense of pride? Yes or no?
Yeah.
All right, let's do a 3 for one more yes or no question. Do you wish that somebody could have seen it?
I showed people.
Okay, so that's a yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did wish that.
Now
I
everybody
showed a lot
playing-
of people. I showed a lot of people. I was at church. No, wait. What? You ready for this?
A blessing from the Lord.
Yeah, this is my favorite poop story. Is this one time I was at church late with a bunch of my friends, and because a bunch of my friends their parents were on the worship team with my parents, all of us kids would hang out. But I had to poop one time, and there was a bunch of people. There was a guy that was in the toilet, I thought, because it was locked and I couldn't open it.
You mean in the stall?
Yeah, the toilet stall. And I really needed to poop, and so I pooped in the trash can. One very solid loaf. As a kid, I was like probably, I don't know, maybe 8, maybe 10, somewhere in that range, maybe 9. But I pooped it in the trash can, and then I just was like, I'll just leave it because I really had to. So I was gonna leave it in there and then dump the poop in the toilet when they were done. And then my friend came and was like, "What's taking you so long?" I was like, "Well, I pooped in this trash can and I'm waiting for them to get out." And I said it out loud to hopefully make them get out, but nobody responded or anything. And so finally he just looked under and nobody was in there. Someone had just locked it from the inside. So I pooped in there for no reason. But then I was like, "But check out the poop." And so he looked at it. He's like, "Whoa, that's nice." And then he said, "Everybody come look at this." And I was like really proud of it after that, because it was just like a uniform like this. But it wasn't actually this big. It was just this big in perspective from an 8-year-old. So it was probably like this, but it was so uniform.
That's a great word to describe it.
Yeah.
I would describe mine as formidable. It was solid. It was whole. It was
Stoic.
without blemish. It was
Unwavering.
you know how God multiplied bread?
Yeah.
Well, this was a really nice loaf of bread. It was voluminous. Anyway, no one saw, but I remember it, and God knows what it looked like. So it's
was
between
outstanding.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone playing along at home, I wonder if they answered yes to those questions that I posed to Zach as well, because I just assume everybody is that way.
Yeah.
Now,
Tell us, comment your best poop stories.
Oh my
I
gosh,
will read them
please.
all.
You
I will read them all.
You have the benefit of having time to write out and think about what you're going to say, and also you can do it in ambiguity or an anonymity if you want. So you have no reason not to, is the point. So
Or tell us your name and social security number if you want.
take that. Just
Just
the point
do
is
that.
to share. That's why Dotes Deets. Oh man, Dotes Dipes.
Yeah.
Keep calling it Dotes Deets, which is also fun to say, but that's
It
not
is.
correct. Dotes Dipes.
What's your favorite poop story? Is the lice one your favorite? Because that's probably
Lice?
the grossest one, but I'm wondering.
There's a
if you-
maggot.
that, not lice, but that. Yeah. Do you have like a favorite just tail, like a tall tail of poop? Like
Nothing comes to
like
mind.
a legend, a poop
But
legend.
I feel like something would exist. I
have another
I'm sure
one.
you have one.
I was in the shower one time and I wanted to poop, but I didn't want to get out of the shower. I was super lazy, and so I pooped in the shower. Another single loaf. I didn't poop the whole thing, and
That's probably a bucket list item. I've never done that.
well, I was old enough to know better too. I was like probably 14. So
It's probably 21.
well, I was just lazy. I was just so lazy that I was like, I'll put it in the toilet later. I'll like grab it. But I was showering anyway, so I grabbed it with my hand and I put it on the side of the toilet, and I forgot about it.
Oh no.
And then, like 5 hours later, I lived with my uncle at the time, and my uncle was like, "Zach, can you come here for a second?"
That's funny. That's not what I expected.
He's
I expected
like-
something way more.
Did you leave like some poop on in the shower? And I was like, I think I did. He was like, it's like one solid, pretty big loaf. And I was like, yeah, I really had to go. I was in the shower. I was so embarrassed, but I just was like, I'm going to just pretend like I'm not, like I meant to do that.
Honest question. How do you think you'd feel if it was a good solid loaf that you had left behind by accident and then he found it? Would you feel maybe at least a little bit better? Like,
What do you mean? Because I did leave it behind on accident.
no, like if it was a good one, like if
It was a good one.
Okay, if it was okay, it wasn't bad.
No, it was pretty good.
Okay. How would you have felt if he had complimented it and said, it sounds like he kind of did.
No, he didn't. He thought it was really gross, and I don't blame him. It's poop. So, it was gross, and it was gross that I touched it with my hands at all. But I was like, I'm gonna. I like body wash and I used soap and body wash after I did it too, and I was gonna just use toilet paper but then I cleaned the whole shower after that too because I was like feeling like that. But I think that's the only time I ever pooped in the shower. It was that one time, and I was just like, whatever. I don't care. Yeah. Have you ever? You said you've never pooped in the shower.
No, I was just trying to think if I ever pooped anywhere exotic. And can
you not poop like outside and wipe your butt with a leaf?
Outside with the next thing I think of. I don't think I've even done that.
Did you wipe with the leaf?
No, I've never.
You never wiped with when you pooped outside?
I don't think I've ever pooped outside.
I've pooped outside a lot.
I wouldn't doubt it. I just can't imagine I never would have pooped outside.
You probably haven't been on a lot of fishing trips.
No, I have. I was actually just thinking about an ice fishing trip. I was thinking, what's one time I can think of when I wouldn't have been outside for a long time and needed to poop and there's no toilet, and I'm thinking of fishing or ice fishing. I went out a few times with my grandpa, and I don't remember ever having to poop. I remember peeing in the water all the time, but never pooping. So that's kind of unfortunate. Pooping underwater would be interesting.
Yeah, it would
in the ocean or something. It's like, I'm just gonna poop. Like you're Tom Hanks in Castaway. You got to poop. Do you?
I feel like I've done that too, but I don't know when I would have. That sounds like a thing I would do.
Like if you were living on a boat in the water, I'd poop on the boat for a while, and then maybe one day I'd go because I'm out there. I lived on a boat for 2 weeks, so I've had a great time by myself. Maybe at some point I'd go, I'm gonna just like you can't see anybody around. I'm just gonna squat over the edge and poop over the edge. And then one day, I might be taking a swim. Like I'm in the middle of the ocean. I should there's nobody here. Maybe I should try pooping underwater.
I'll tell you here's the first thought I have. And
my question is
absurd.
Do you think, let's put it this way. Do you think it would be a wasted opportunity if you didn't take advantage of it?
Sure. But,
okay, that's all.
But here's the first concern I have is the thing about being in the open ocean at all is like if you dangle in the water, like you'd worry about things coming up and nibbling.
Yeah.
And especially like something about the idea of pooping underwater. What if fish came up while the poop was still coming out and just like
I was trying to create an ideal situation. I know that's true.
I don't know that fish would be attracted to it.
This is not a well-known fact, but sharks smell blood and poop.
They do poop?
Because they don't discriminate. They can smell. So
they do smell poop?
Why wouldn't they?
I feel like they've got like a
They probably care about blood, but they can smell anything. I'd guess.
Maybe
I don't know. I'm not a paleontologist.
I just feel like maybe they've got their senses are acutely attuned to hemoglobin in blood or whatever.
Well, if you feel like it, that's all that matters.
Yeah. I don't know. But what if they did? Like, what if it was just a matter of things that come out of a human? Blood. No, but to your point, if they can smell poop, what if they were like, oh, that means there's a person close? What if that was like another like really attractive like thing?
Well, if I knew that was the case, I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't poop
again. You're kind of posing a whole new problem, which is fine. I was just on the poop train. You're going on to sharks now. I was just trying to make a situation where, like, you're on Mars, and the atmosphere isn't a problem. You don't have to wear a suit. There's nobody there. Whatever. There's no laws. No one's going to do anything about it. Would you poop differently?
Yeah. Here's a question I have because like space is like a never-ending vacuum. If like say like you had like a vacuum sealed space suit or whatever, and let's say temperature's not an issue. Let's say it's an issue, but it's like it's just really cold or whatever. But let's say you happen to have a vacuum seal around the skin around your butt, and you could just expose the butthole area. Do you think poop would come sucking out of you like really hard and kill you, or do you think like you could just poop a lot easier?
I think it just depends on a lot of stuff, like the atmosphere.
You're in space. You're floating in free space.
On that note, I'm just thinking, as an example, people have taken like these submarines to not the bottom of the ocean, but way deep down.
Yeah.
And then if you open a soda, it doesn't fizzle out because of the pressure. I wonder what it's like to poop in that submarine. Someone must have done it. Does it come out or feel different?
Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting.
You know what I mean? Like I was going on your thought, like what would be a more realistic situation? Well, that I wonder about. So
yeah,
like pooping in space probably doesn't feel too weird because mean, there's no gravity, but the pressure is supposedly the same.
I don't know that gravity affects pooping.
I wouldn't think it would, but I was thinking about what about way underwater where there's different pressure.
I was specifically, maybe you knew this, but I was specifically like talking about the fact that like if there's a suctioning effect against an open orifice, then maybe it would pull everything out.
Yeah, it's scary.
So I know it's kind of scary, but then I would think before it would pull poop out, like it wouldn't discriminate between like
the poop and the air surrounding it, and then it would just take everything like your rectum.
Right.
With it. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It would take your organs and your stomach out before the poop, or if like,
I think
the organs would stay intact, poop would come out first.
I think it would, but it can't, because I think that would only happen if you were in an environment that would allow poop to pull out your rectum. It would do more damaging things to the rest of your body first before you had a chance. So
yeah, like you definitely.
So that would never happen. But like the situation you were saying, where you have a hermetically sealed suit with a special poop chute and your butt's exposed, and sure, yeah, rip your butt out and the rest of you will be fine.
I would say, yeah, there's definitely I feel like at least eventually a prolapse will have happened in that transaction. I just feel like if there was a gentle vacuum that could like help you, maybe that would help. That's our second product for the Dipes.
I was thinking of Dotes Dipes in space.
Dotes Dipes, the vacuum, to help it along.
So it's a toilet, right? But the seat isn't. The opening in the seat is much smaller, and you have to kind of seal with your butt like a plunge, and you push a button, it goes vacuum, and you just poop as it's vacuuming your butt cheeks, and it just kind of falls out really easily. You push it. Yeah, it's like pooping in a vacuum hose.
I do think that actually you kind of come across the prolapse problem again. I feel like pooping is a thing that there has to be you have to have like a participant, like you have to be part of the action, like you have to do it. Like,
well, yeah, you're pooping, but it's just helping. It just makes it easier.
Yeah,
that's the whole point. It doesn't suck it out.
But also, you could get like, I can predict a problem with like a hickey. You know, you just get like a big.
You'll have a big ring on your butt. Whatever. No one's gonna see it. Wear pants.
I gotta sneeze, man. It's gone. I wanted to do it too. Man, do you have any other poop related stories?
I did, and just like your sneeze, it just went away, and I'm annoyed because it wasn't hilarious, but I really wanted to say it. And it was about poop for sure.
The reason I asked about wiping with a leaf is like I've heard that people wipe with leaves before, and I tried doing that, but the leaf was like too dry, and so instead of wiping the poop off, it just added leaf to the poop that was on. So I was thinking about that.
Imagine like you're playing a game, and it's you pick up the leaf, it goes, place of Skyrim, like leaf. And then you swipe, you expect to see poop removed, but you see leaf added, and your hand's gone. The leaf is gone from your hand. You're like, oh, damn it.
Well, it was actually pretty concerning, because then I'm like on a fishing trip. Go? Well, how do I get now that off? Like what do I wipe to get leaf and poop off? I feel like if I add more stuff, it's just going to accumulate a conglomerate of things that I try to wipe with.
Baseball glove. It's gone.
Yeah. I remember I was like 10, and I yelled to my grandpa who was with me, like, I wiped it, because he's like, wipe with the leaf, because I was like, I gotta poop, but I don't have anything to wipe with. He goes, wipe with the leaf. So I did that, and then the leaf did, where I was like, the leaf was too dry. He's like, you idiot. And then I said, what do I wipe with? I was like yelling at him. He's like, your hand, come just wash it in the river. And so that's what I did. Pretty gross. I did not like that, and I'd like spent the whole time, like, I didn't hold my fishing pole with two hands the rest of the day. I just like held this hand, like far away. Yeah.
Speaking of holding with one hand, I'd like to play football or throw the football again, but I did. You were correct. Not big surprise.
You jammed it. Can I see?
I jammed it. It's
which one? First finger?
I don't know what first finger is.
Index?
It's my pinky.
Your pinky.
You can
Ooh, see. Yeah, it's pretty purple.
Yeah, it's annoying, but whatever.
Yeah, it does suck.
And not important. I just tied it in because you said hand. Like, hey, I have one. So.
Yeah. If you ever want to avoid that, soft hands and like pulling your fingers back and letting the ball hit your palm first is one way. Even the because even though that sounds obvious, sometimes the impact against your palm will actually help you close your fingers around it. So just being patient is a good way. If I get overexcited,
being able to see also would help. I was like, why did it even happen? It's like looking at a freaking lamp. Anyway.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good jam. I've had some jams like that, but they were back when I was a lineman in football. I'm surprised that the football got you that bad.
Well, it's because someone was throwing it hard.
Was I throwing it hard?
I don't know. I was trying to compliment you.
So, strength.
Well, yeah. Probably me.
Probably me.
Anyway, hey, that was a good round of poop conversations. And now I'm properly motivated to start a phony company.
Yeah, Dotes Dives.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could. Do you want to cut this one short and just call this episode poop? And then
I would call it short. It's shorter than a long one, but it is wholesome. It is a formidable. What's the word you used? I said formidable and voluminous.
I said stoic.
No, you did not say stoic.
I said stoic at some point.
Well, for your poop, what was the word you used to describe it?
Voluminous.
Was that the word you used?
Fortuitous.
I said formidable and voluminous. I don't know what your word. Maybe you did say volume. Whatever.
It's a contentious one. You got to contend with it.
That's what the episode was.
Contentious poops. Maybe I could just call it Dotes Dipes. Just I
was going to call the episode poop.
Poop is good
because it's not very controversial,
and it's actually
it's really
pretty
inclusive
accurate.
too.
Yeah,
everybody can join.
Okay, so the 3 women subscribers we have, we'll miss you. Maybe one day you'll come back. But.
Well, I want to be the asshole and say everybody poops. So I don't know where you.
They just don't want to hear about it. They want to be. This is generalized. They want to be.
Everybody poops, but not everybody farts. Girls don't fart, so they have that over us. But
they don't have any air.
But poop.
Yeah, there's no extra. Guys have extra air on the inside, and girls don't have air on the inside.
Are you calling us shallow?
Just empty. We're just empty people.
True that.
Yeah.
Hey, well, thanks for listening to this. And I know we said this the last time we're going to plug it, but we're going to go record the watching show now. So one more time, it's linked on our listening show front page. And yeah.
You will love it. You will love it.
It sounds just like this, but with a little game in the background, and our attention isn't so scattered; it's focused on something. So,
and we're
it's
super funny.
It's a little bit higher energy. Listening show has its place. It's chill. I enjoy it. Watching show is a bit more ka-chow. This is more like ka-chow.
Yeah, ka-chow.
Anyway,
all right. Bye. I'm gonna do this with my foot.